What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with the Southwest prediction. This is going to be the last one in the division rankings, and I'm glad that you guys watched and enjoyed the videos. Obviously, this is a prediction, so injuries, trades, and anything that can happen from now till then does not count, as we do not know what's going to happen as trades and injuries do occur. But this is how I feel looking at the teams, how they stack up today and how they're performing. I think is going to be the order for this. I'm going to start from 5 and work my way up to number 1. And let's get it going. Number 5, the Grizzlies, losing Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson for a long, extensive period of time. I don't see how this team can win consistently, and I think that they will be the worst in this division. Even if they had Ja Morant, it would be tough for them to be a playoff team or even a good team just because they just don't have enough consistent scores around him that can really make that team dangerous. It's not really that big of a problem because they are young and they are developing a lot of guys and they are trying to build up a lot of guys so they can be better in the future. But Ja Morant shows that he has a huge potential of being a multiple time All Star. And Jaren Jackson seems like he can be the perfect complementary player with Ja Morant. They have some nice pieces. Obviously, Justice Winslow is a guy that people forget that they did trade for. He hasn't been able to stay healthy or hasn't really even been able to play at all for this team. And he was supposed to be a big part of their future and what they're trying to do. And they haven't been even able to integrate him into this team. And having injuries to your two best players is the worst way to start off a season because that's when you want to establish cultures, establish winning, and establish what type of team you're going to be. And it's hard to do that when your best players are not even playing at all. So to me, I look at it like this. If they're not going to play good defense and they're not going to be able to score, they're not going to be able to win. And that's why the Grizzlies will be the worst team. Now, if they had both of their guys healthy, they definitely would probably be higher on this list, just like we seen last year with them being the AC before getting bumped out of it due to the losing the playoff game, well, the playoff win, and then they lost to keep their playoff spot. So, they just don't have enough, and it came up to catch them already. And now we're just going to see where they're going to be later this season. As then they will be able to get a top 5 lottery pick if they're bad enough to go right with Jaren Jackson and obviously John Morant. And it is a lot of guards that people have high on their boards, and they can use a good guard if Winslow and Brooks can't become consistent and they can't really become stars, which I don't see either one of them being at this point of their careers. Maybe it would be pretty good for them to get a Cade or a Jalen in the draft and, really try to build this core up and have 3 all-star caliber players, and the future will look a lot brighter than it does now. But they still do have some good players. They do have some solid coaching, and now it's just about trying to stay healthy and trying to see where you can go with your duo and what you can put around them to make them successful. But until they can stay healthy, they're going to have problems winning games, and that's why I have them as the worst team in the division. Number 4, the San Antonio Spurs. They got off to a decent start, but I just don't see it continuing to happen, as it is a lot of teams in this division that are better than them. Obviously, that's why I have them second to last. I would have them probably last if it wasn't for the Grizzlies, just because they have a great coach, but the talent is just not there. They have a log jam at the guard position. They have so many guards that they have to play, and it's just not enough minutes. It's just not enough talent when it comes to the other positions. And if they can move some of those guys and fill the other positions with high quality starters, maybe they will be a playoff team because they're not that far from it. And we just don't know how long the DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge experiment going to work, as their contracts are basically almost up. And with that being said, even if they, play better this year or even make it to being a borderline playoff team like they was last year, eventually they're going to be going as their contracts almost up, and I don't really see them staying with San Antonio when both of those guys are in their 30s and they're trying to win and they're try to possibly even win the title. Eventually, this duo is going to end, and they have been a playoff duo. They came close last year, but they just missing something better wing defense, or maybe is a better wing player. whatever it is, they just don't have enough. And either they're going to have to make a trade or they're going to have to blow this up or they just going to have to let DeMar and LaMarcus walk and just use that money on their younger players that they're trying to develop and move forward without them. Either way it go, this current team is going to be destroyed and they're going to be gone. But I still think they're going to be competitive. I still think they're going to be pretty decent, just like they was last year. But ultimately, I have them missing the playoffs again, and that's why I have them fourth. They just don't have enough. They can compete. They can stay in games. They can beat you, but I don't see them doing that consistently enough to be a great team. At the end of the day, number three, the Pelicans. This might be surprising, but they actually have the talent to be a playoff team. To me, it's just about finding the right system that really gets the benefit out of Zion and Ingram. Ingram has looked pretty good so far. Zion been a little hit or miss. And they have a coach that's going to hold them accountable on the defensive end, which is one of the biggest areas that they needed to improve on. As yeah, they can score with anybody, but they couldn't stop anybody. And they got a young team, and you want to build good habits and you want to build them up as players. But in my personal opinion, they did need to be disciplined. They did need somebody that's going to hold them accountable because if you never do it, they're just going to have that as their mentality. They're just going to have that as their play style, as they don't know better and they wasn't told better. And now that they got a coach that will do that, that will help them not only now but also in the future. And making it a priority is something that they need. And I feel like Stan will definitely get that done. And you can already see it now. And Steven Adams gives them a guy that's going to set the screens to give these guys spaces and opportunity to get easy buckets, but also a rebound and be a solid help defender and rim protector. Zion has the upside to be one of the top five players in the world, especially if he can learn how to shoot a little better, and especially from the free throw line. And once Brandon Ingram, increase his defense, he can be one of the best players in the league. Also, plus their bench is not that bad as they are a bunch of young guys, but they also have guys that really understand their role. They're not really hungry for playing time. They're just gonna do what the team needs them to do, and you need guys that know their role, know their game, and know how to fit well with the team. And I feel like they have a bunch of guys that can do that. But ultimately, I just don't think they can score and defend good enough this year to be a playoff team. They might be able to be one of those 10 teams to play in, but I don't see them taking up a spot without a major injury happening to the other teams in the West. And that's why I have them third. Second, Dallas. They got off to a bad start, but I think that they'll be fine. Their offense hasn't looked like what we thought it would be with Luka as good as it was last year. I thought they added better pieces, and I thought they added guys that can do more than what they had last year, and that's why I had Dallas so high in the Western Conference. Plus, they was 2 games away from being a playoff team that was in the top four last year. But Luka and Porzingis missed a lot of games because of little small injuries, and that might have cost them a top four seed in the West. But this year they got off to a bad start. But I do think they're a 3-4 game win streak away from being back in the middle of the West, which I do see them being, especially because Porzingis is supposed to be coming back in January, which obviously ain't that long from now, as is only one day from now. And I do think that that will help them and boost them, even if he's rusty. Having that guy that can space the floor and knock down some shots when open is better than what they have right now. And he gives them something that they don't have right now. So I think that that would definitely boost them and help them. But their defense has to get significantly better if they want to be a championship team. And Luka is going to have to become a better finisher or a better shooter if he really wants to be a dominant scorer in this league. The playmaking is there. The confidence is there. It's just the ability to knock down shots consistently. It just isn't there for Luka right now. But he is, so young that he'll be able to figure it out. As being 24 and 25 is when he should be able to have it done, but he's just not there just yet, and that's why I think Dallas is going to be number 2. And number 1, Houston. As long as they keep James Harden, which they seem like they're going to do, whether if he wants to leave or not, it don't seem like they're in a rush. And if they're not in a rush, I do see John Wall, Christian Wood, and James Harden being enough to win this division. They've been able to lock it up pretty much for the last couple of years because of Harden and he's going to be the best shooting guard in the league. He's going to be unstoppable. I know they haven't won just yet, but once they get healthy and once they guys get back on the court, I can see them rattling off a couple wins in a row that will put them at the top of this division, just because Harden is just that dominant and he makes guys get easier shots, and he has guys that can knock down threes and finish, and he has a guy that can get 20 and 10 and space the floor and finish in his own way, and that should be enough to lock up this division. And I got Houston being the number one team in the Southwest Division. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook and continues to check that out. Also, you can find merchandise on my Facebook page. You can customize a hat and customize a shirt you want it how you want it to be, and you can message me and I can get it shipped out. So you can also buy exclusive merchandise on my spread shirt. That will also be in the description in the comment section below. So check that out. If you don't want to buy merchandise, that's fine. Liking and sharing is another way you can help this channel grow. The more you like, the more you share, the more people it reach, the more people it reach, the more people can see it, the more people see it, the more fans I can get. And that's a small way you can help the channel out if you don't want to buy any merchandise and you just want to do something small like that to show love and support. I appreciate it regardless. And at the same time, if you're new to the channel, I upload videos every single day, whether it's the hottest topics, breakdowns of legends, players, rookies, and also summer league breakdowns and coverage, draft coverage, free agency, top 10 lists, summer league, even playoff predictions. I have all that covered, and I have over 2,000 videos to prove it. So if you like this video and you want to see more, check out my older videos on my channel. Also, thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. I'll be coming to y'all with another video Friday. Other than that, Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. I'm signing out. Enjoy y'all day. And, let's see what the Rockets do with Harden. But if they don't, he's number one in this division. Do your thing.